think all of you guys are certainly awake now, right? That's a hard act to follow. I'm not even going to try to do that. I'm not. So I'm glad to see you guys are in a good mood. Let me ask you a question. Have any of you ever been driving down the street and thought, if I could just invent this, I would be able to tell that guy in the car what I think about him? Or how about, if I could just invent that, I could get where I need to go so much faster? Or what if I snap my fingers and I could be where I need to go? How much more could I get done? Have you ever been there? Have you ever been there? Yes, exactly. Well, you know, I'm going to talk today a little bit about transportation. And transportation, vehicles, automobiles, it's a lot more than just getting us from point A to point B. It drives our lives in so many ways that we don't recognize. How do you like to travel? So, I actually have to do this, pardon me. So I want you to look up here. I want you to look up here at this bar. And I want you to imagine three gentlemen. They're sitting at the bar having a beer, you know, talking about their latest purchase. And the one guy goes, I just bought the state-of-the-art Mustang. It's black, it's sleek, and it's fast. And the second guy goes, Bill, you're always talking about fast and sleek, that Mustang of yours. You know what? I bought a Mustang too, but it's a classic. I'm more into the lines and I'm more into the white classic Mustang. And then the third guy goes, hey, you know what? Both of you guys just hush. I just bought the top of the line Pinto. And that's what's going to get me where I need to go. These three gentlemen were talking about a horse. The year was 1902. The reason that I want to call this year out to you is because back in that day, the method of transportation that was the latest and the greatest, it was the horse. So if I had the latest and the greatest transportation, I had a horse, okay? It wasn't until 1903 when Ford, in this very area, launched the Model A. And everybody in that time said, a car? A car? Really? Okay, that's nice. It's nice, but we've been using horses to travel since the dawn of time. My father and my grandfather's father, they all had horses and carriages. Why would we change the way that things are done? Why would we buy a car? So let's fast forward a little bit. How would we get to point A to, how do you get from point A to point B? The car actually did not only change transportation from point A to point B, but also think of all the other things it changed. It changed how you got goods from one place to another. It changed the entire landscape with the roads. It even changed the way that manufacturing was done through the assembly line. How do you want to travel? So I'm going to change direction a little bit. How many of you here are under the age of 8 years old? Anybody? There's a couple over here. But, okay, no one. If you are over the age of 8 years old, you likely remember this year, 2007. Before 2007, we had no access to this little thing called the iPhone. In June of 2007, Steve Jobs launched the iPhone at the Macworld Congress. So let's think about this. Okay, that was 8 short years ago. 8 years ago, we actually had to drive to the office to check email. I don't know if you remember that. We actually had to go home to make a phone call if we wanted to have a party because we didn't go on social media or send out evites. We used that thing that was attached to the wall and actually not the smartphone. 8 short years ago. Think about that. I call iPhones my phones because my phones are smartphones that hold my data. They hold my pictures, they hold my music, they hold my life. They change the way I do business. And when I go from point A to point B, I take my phone. Again, we're not mobile because we have to be. We're mobile because we want to be. And when we think about now the way we get from point A to point B, we take our data with us. How do you want to travel? So now I want you to think about a different year. I want you to think about the year 2020. Now, Anna wakes up this morning and she's having quite a difficult morning. She's got probably the largest presentation in her life due this morning. And guess what? Anna fell asleep finishing her presentation last night, and she has 15 minutes to go in editing. Well, luckily, her device knows that she has a meeting at 10 o'clock. And so it wakes her up at 9, and it starts the shower for her so that she can go straight into the shower. She's running to the shower, and she gets in there, and her typical shower time is 17 minutes. So in 15 minutes, her shower calls her car, and her car starts getting warm because it's a cold day outside. Anna runs outside of the shower. She puts on her clothes. As she's going out the door, she scoops up all of the stuff that she's fallen asleep on the couch, and she's going to her car, unprepared for the day. What's going to happen next? Her car, because it's a connected vehicle, notices from the sensor on her watch that she is quite frazzled. So the exterior of the car actually turns colors. It turns to a light blue because that is the color that makes Anna feel good. The door opens and Anna falls into the seat and she starts getting all of her stuff ready to finish that presentation. As she begins to edit, the car takes out of her driveway and it goes on the journey to her office. Anna closes her laptop because she's finished with the edits, and she sighs a little bit of a relief, but she's still in a hurry. As she finishes this, she sees a picture of her boss that shows on her screen over this way. Anna, it's 11 o'clock now when we're going to do our meeting because my trip and my plane from China is running behind. Anna sighs. She's so excited. She's got an extra hour. My car, she says, take me to get some coffee. So my car calls the Starbucks that she always goes to because it's right here, and it orders her latte for her and pays for it. So now Anna begins to put on her makeup and begins to do her hair. And the car pulls up to the Starbucks. She just reaches out the window and takes that first Joe. Wow, I feel good. But then suddenly my car realizes that Anna's blood sugar's a little high. Anna, you need to take your medication. So Anna reaches into her pill box. Thank you, my car. I almost forgot. And she takes her medication, and she begins to feel a lot better. She's got caffeine, and she's medicated. So now Anna is set for the day. And my car realizes that a water main has broken, and it diverts her into another way to the office, but it's only about a 1-minute difference. As the car pulls up to Anna's office, she steps out. She's looking beautiful. She's feeling refreshed. She has her briefcase, and she walks up to the office like she owns the place because she is prepared. My car parks itself, and at 5:06, it returns to that very same spot. During the day, her boyfriend has texted her and said, hey, let's go celebrate. My car says, to your favorite restaurant, Anna? Yes, please. And they go to Andiamo's while Anna gets prepared for the evening ahead, puts on more makeup, more lipstick. But Anna has had a fabulous day. Anna has not been late because she could have overslept. Anna has reduced the stress that she had because she was able to finish her presentation on the drive. She was able to understand that the time had changed from what she had known before because of this connectivity. Further, she did not get into a life-threatening situation because she forgot to take her medication and it had an adverse effect on her body. She emerged from the car with a sense of calmness because her connected world allowed her to be prepared. That day was changed, not because she was getting from point A to point B, but because the way that she traveled was much different than we know today. We are in an incredible time right now. We are in a time where we are going to see transportation change like we've never seen it before. Read the news, listen to the radio. But you know, if you think about at the turn of the century, how things changed, when many people said, will it change? And then you think again, in 2007, how things changed, when many people at that time too said, is it going to change? Will it? And many of you are going to take your cars that you drive today, and they will be my cars. If you doubt for one moment that what I'm saying is true, think about how you want to travel. And if again you question if you'll see this in your lifetime or not, I challenge you to ask a horse. Thank you.